The last time Nissan redesigned the Frontier, YouTube was just getting ready to launch and the first iPhone was still 2 years away. I mean, that's the kind of product cadence that would make even Toyota jealous. And I've always been a big fan of this truck, so I'm curious to see what Nissan has been cooking up over the past 2 decades with this all-new 2022 Frontier.
When Ford parked the Ranger a decade ago, Nissan saw it as an opportunity to reclaim some compact truck market share, and indeed, sales soared. But more recently, the Frontier's aged interior and 5-speed automatic transmission have been exposed by reintroduced models from GM and Ford, not to mention the segment's sales leader, the Toyota Tacoma. So no surprise, these areas of concern have been addressed here in the new Frontier. The cabin's design and tech level have been significantly enhanced, and the new powertrain, which in a peculiar move was actually introduced on the old Frontier for the 2020 model year, adds a 9-speed auto in addition to a more efficient, smaller displacement V6 that makes more horsepower. Stick shifts and 4 cylinders are gone, but just about everything else concerning the Frontier's resume looks very familiar. There's still the King Cab model with the small rear doors and a 6-foot bed, or the full 4-door crew cab with the 5-foot bed or optional 6-foot bed on mid-level SV trims. And this Pro 4X remains the top dog Frontier, but this time around you can get it without the 4. In other words, it's now also available in 2-wheel drive. The wheelbase is the same. Towing capacity of 6,270 pounds is about the same, and max payload of 1,230 pounds has increased by about 4 bags of Quikrete. It is 5 inches longer, 2 inches wider, and 1 inch shorter in height. The bed is deeper. There are now 2 front tow hooks, and 18-inch wheels have been shelved in favor of 16 and 17-inch sizes exclusively. In Baja Storm with red accents, it looks great, like a baby Titan. The Pro 4X is the most aggressively styled model and is the most capable in terms of off-road adventures. With all-terrain tires, Bilstein shocks, a locking rear differential for times when you get stuck, and 3 steel skid plates to protect the family jewels. And then, on the comfort and convenience front, the 2 available Pro packages add in such niceties as a bass-rich Fender premium audio system, a moonroof, heated leather seats, a heated steering wheel, an around-view monitor, wireless charger, remote start, a spray-on bed liner, 4 tie-down cleats, and LED bed lighting. On the tech front, another optional package sprinkles in high beam assist, blind spot warning, intelligent cruise control, traffic sign recognition, and other assistance features, leading to an as-tested price of $44,710. Now, for a fun comparison, that's $15,000 more than the last Frontier SV I tested about a decade ago. Trucks are expensive now. What can you do?
After this long of a wait, I have to admit I was expecting a stronger effort from Nissan. Now, the drive itself is great, absolutely top-notch. So living with this truck on an everyday basis would never leave you wanting for a car because, frankly, it drives a lot like a car. And this might just be the quietest truck cabin on the market today. But what's with all of this old, cheap-looking Nissan switchgear with that dingy orange lighting at night? And why aren't there any drive modes or an auto setting for the 4-wheel drive? It just seems to me that Nissan has missed an opportunity here to really advance the Frontier and instead gave us more of the same old, same old.
Don't get me wrong, this is all a huge upgrade over what was. But I guess I was expecting something that really moved the small truck needle, and instead Nissan has given us an entry that pretty much blends right in with the current and soon-to-be refreshed models in the segment. That being said, the drive itself is a standout that immediately propels it to best in class. The new 310 horsepower 3.8-liter V6 makes the same 281 pound-feet of torque as before, though it peaks a little later in the rev range, and is smooth, powerful, and nearly as efficient as Toyota's much weaker, heavy-breathing 3.5-liter engine. Expect 19 mpg in mixed driving. The lower steering ratio has shortened the turning diameter, but has also made the wheel harder to turn. It feels really heavy despite its speed-sensitive design. But the ride, handling, power delivery, and cabin quietness all receive a 10 out of 10. If this is a truck you'll drive every day, it's as good as it gets. The zero-gravity seats are super comfy. Nissan's Infotainment, while not one of my favorite systems, is easy enough to use. And when loaded up like this, there are very few feature omissions, wireless phone projection notwithstanding. The rear seats are a little snug, and the back rests upright, but the floor is nearly flat, and flipping up the right seat reveals some additional storage. There are even 2 different USB types back here, and a sliding rear window. Moving out back, the tailgate is damped, a nice touch, and the Utilitrack system is certainly handy, though the cleats don't move as easily as those in the Hyundai Santa Cruz. And new is trailer sway control for a more confident towing experience. And while off-road trucks are a big thing right now, Nissan has been ostensibly doing this Pro 4X treatment since the 2005 Nismo Frontier, so they know how this works. Its 9.8 inches of ground clearance at the rear differential is down slightly, but this Pro 4X is built for 95% of the hard life its owners will subject it to. I also like the off-road mode for the around view monitor that automatically triggers when in 4 low. But I've been calling for an additional auto setting in these 4x4s forever, and the OEMs are starting to oblige, but not here in the Frontier, unfortunately. Pricing starts at about $29,000 for a base 2-wheel drive king cab and tops out here at almost $45,000. It's a solid truck in a cool spec that adds more everyday comfort, safety, and convenience. I'm sure it will do very well. For TestDriveNow.com, I'm Steve Hammes.